Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Armand here for E equals MCU, and we got a subject we got to discuss here. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. There's been a lot of talk on the net and YouTube about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. television show that recently ended on ABC. Now, the question is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. connected to the MCU? Is it canon or not? I'm going to dive in and explain my point of view on this and make arguments for why it is not canon, but also why it is and could be canon. So let's go into some of this information. Let's get into this. Now, let's set the stage here. We got to do the history report. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a television spin-off basically from the Avengers. Is what the success of the Avengers is what really made that happen. But it's based on Agent Coulson, who appeared in Phase 1 movies, and it was him being brought back to life after being killed in Avengers and having his own team and his own spin-off. Now, this happened in the fall of 2013. Okay, guys. Avengers came out in 2012, and they got on this pretty quickly and put it in production. Now, when they first started, it had a pretty big production. I guess you could say, like, they had a lot of money behind it for that first season. I know the budget for it was pretty high for the first, and then it was reduced the second season, and reduced significantly by the remaining seasons. But that first season, it had a lot of production budget and money put into it, and you could kind of see it in the episodes. Just as far as them being on locations and just them having the S.H.I.E.L.D. vehicles and all of the stuff that you kind of saw from the movies. A lot of people did not like the first season, or at least the first half of the first season, because it was just too much referencing to the movies and not enough of their own thing, kind of. It took them a while to find their footing and kind of get their own stories and where they wanted to go. They tried to rely on that a lot, and even back then, the referencing with the movies was only one way. It didn't go both ways. Now, the argument I'm going to make here is that when Marvel was whole and it was under Ike Perlmutter, the movies and TV division, the producers for those projects were all in the same meetings. They all knew what one was doing, what movie was referencing this, or what was coming down the pike. They all kind of knew. For the first two seasons with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you could kind of see that. You had the whole twist with, Captain America Winter Soldier, where so in Winter Soldier, you had the twist of Hydra taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. And those events played out in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's partly because those producers and the Wheatons, who are the showrunners and the writers of the show, they had privy to that information because Marvel was, in a sense, one. There really wasn't that much separation between TV and movies. So the thing is, I think that's the thing that gets everybody, for the argument to say that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. Those first two seasons, you saw, a lot of tie-ins. You saw cameos from, Nick Fury, Lady Sif, Maria Hill. There was a lot of references in there that, may or may not pay off in the future. Ultimately, this is the argument why people would say that it is connected. And that may have been the case, and that was the intention. As they always said, it's all connected. That was their tagline for the first 2 years. I believe that Jeff Loeb knew that in order for people to watch and really get that audience, he needed to say that. But if you look no further than the numbers, when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first premiered, the numbers were off the charts. I believe it was like the amount of views that they got was like really, really high. And then as the episodes went on, they dropped off significantly until the point where you get the core fans who are watching the show kind of carried it through, the 6-7 seasons that they had. But It had potential to be a lot more, but because of the dysfunction within Marvel, there were gaps and there were holes. It just didn't cross over the way it should have. And a lot of it, I think, was the production value of just having the show on ABC. I'm not sure if Marvel's going to do another show on ABC, just because when you're on network television, it is hard to get that film feeling as they're going to have with the Disney Plus shows. And we'll see that, pretty soon with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I think that was part of the problem that they ran into with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It just didn't have that feel. But we'll get into later what could be and what could happen and the what ifs. But just based on the cameos and everything, one can make the argument that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was connected to the MCU and it should be considered MCU. Now, there's a couple of things about the cameos here that I find ironic. At the time when these cameos was made, and you can see right now even with Lady Sif, she didn't come back to the MCU after making her cameos on the TV show. She hasn't been seen since. There's rumors that she's going to be in Thor 4, but there's no concrete proof or evidence of that yet. Maria Hill and even Nick Fury during this time period kind of disappeared from the MCU. As you can see here, Maria Hill, this is doing the tie-in to the last tie-in that they had with Age of Ultron, where she was, her and Coulson was talking about the scepter and going back and forth and finding the scepter. And in case people didn't know, that's the whole reason why Nick Fury was able to have a helicarrier come in Age of Ultron to come and save the Sokovia people. It was because of Coulson, but they never said that. They never tied that into the movie. It just kind of poof, appeared, and you just figured, hey, it's Nick Fury. He's got access to a helicarrier, whatever. At the time, he wasn't even running S.H.I.E.L.D. Even like with this clip, you can see this is after Winter Soldier. So you got to put that all into perspective. But those actors kind of disappeared after 2015. They were in Age of Ultron, and then they did not appear again until the end credit scenes to Infinity War, when they were back in the fold. And then all of a sudden you see them in Captain Marvel and Spider-Man Far From Home, then they popped up more regularly. And now we have the announcement that Nick Fury is getting a show on Disney Plus. We don't know what it's going to be yet. There's rumors that it's going to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. To me, that is the defining moment as to whether or not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will actually be acknowledged as being part of the MCU. Because if nobody from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pops up in Agents of S.W.O.R.D., to me that says it all. And there's a couple of other things I'm going to point out a little bit later as to why I think that won't happen with those characters crossing over. But I wish they would. There are a lot of, I like the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that Coulson is great. I think that Agent May was great, very believable. I felt like she was a real agent. I felt like she could hold her own in the movies and on the screen with the other heroes. I like, Bobby Morse, Mockingbird, when she was on the show. Sky, aka Quake, I think she's great. I didn't like Fitzsimmons at first, but they really grew on me, especially the actors. They really grew throughout the show, and you could see that growth within them, and I thought they did an excellent job. I like, Mac, the actor that played Mac was great. Yo-Yo, she was great. I really liked the whole cast, and I wish they would get their shot to be in the MCU, or at least connected to the MCU, but they weren't Feige's guys, and that's kind of what it comes down to. Now, I have a clip here of Jeff Loeb when they were promoting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., specifically kind of showing you what was kind of going on and what they had to do with the marketing here. So it's all connected, kind of theory thing when he sits down with Agent May. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Jeff Loeb. I'm the head of Marvel Television and one of the executive producers of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And I'm Ming-Na Wen. I play Agent Melinda May.
The Marvel Universe is something that is rich, incredible characters. Start with
Maria Hill. Her tie-in to our pilot episode was significant. It was her prepping Coulson and getting him to form this team, which I became a part of.
Lady Sif has actually been on the show several times.
When she first came down in the Bifrost and stood up, I geeked out a little bit because I love Thor.
There's probably somebody that you would have liked to have met, and that's Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter is S.H.I.E.L.D. She is the one that had the vision to form an organization to do good. And that's something that says a lot about the Marvel Universe, that a female character could have as much power and influence as a male character.
Well, thanks for joining us. Enjoy, and keep in mind, it's all connected.
The Marvel Universe, it's all connected. And watch Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tuesdays, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
All right, now so as you can see by that clip, you know, that's how they were promoting it. That's the way things were early on. Now, one of the reference in that clip was Agent Carter, and this is the linchpin. A lot of people say, well, Agent Carter is connected to the MCU. Agent Carter is canon. Why isn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? That's very simple. To any fan out there that's interested, you can go right now on Disney Plus and watch Agent Carter. And if you look at the credits in Agent Carter, it was executive produced by Kevin Feige and Louis D'Esposito, which is one of Feige's right-hand mans. They executive produced that TV series. Thus, that is why the TV series shows up in Avengers Endgame with Jarvis. A lot of people, you know, hey, well, how can Jarvis, you know, pop up, or he was there in the past, or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you right now, the reason why he popped up in that movie is because that show was produced by Feige, and it is considered canon to the MCU. Now, the crazy part is that show also crosses over with the Marvel TV show of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So a lot of people, well, why isn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. considered canon? And it's because Feige's not producing on it. None of his people are producing on it. I mean, that's the simple answer to it, and a lot of people don't want to accept that's what the case is. I mean, they're not acknowledged by the movies. There's an interesting Reddit post if anybody's interested in looking it up, and it's a Reddit post about the women of the women of Marvel, and they have like I think 20 or 30 of the female characters from Marvel listed in there. And not one female character from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or any of the other Marvel TV shows, including the Netflix shows, pops up on it. I think that's pretty telling, you know, as to what's going on here. But check this out. I got another clip here with Agent Coulson and Jeff Loeb. Check this out.
Head of Marvel Television and one of the executive producers on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'm on the deck of a S.H.I.E.L.D. warship. And I'm joined today with
Clark Gregg. I play Director Coulson on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You first walked on to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a little movie called Iron Man.
So when I got a call to show up and play it, I was very excited.
You ready to change the world?
And to have them kind of a new team keep taking this character different directions made it a very sad day when I had to have my unfortunate encounter with that Asgardian mischief-making person.
I stopped breathing for about 40 seconds.
8. It gets longer every time you tell it.
Yeah, well, you get shanked by the Asgardian Mussolini, you can tell it your way.
So what's it like now seeing Skye, a character that you very much care for in the show, has gone from hacker to agent to now Inhuman?
To have her go through this change and suddenly be part of the manifestation of this Kree-infused population on Earth is a real challenge to their relationship, and that's something we get to explore in some great detail on our show, in the same way that after S.H.I.E.L.D. was basically annihilated after Captain America the Winter Soldier last year, we get to really explore what that's like to have people you've completely trusted who were traitors and how that plays out. We get a little more time to play with that, and that's really fun and exciting.
So this has been Jeff Loeb. I just want to say thanks for joining us, where we've been talking about Marvel and how it's all connected. And my special guest,
Clark Gregg.
The Marvel Universe, it's all connected. And watch Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tuesdays, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
All right, so you have that clip there, you know, just kind of reinforcing what they were shooting for. And And yeah, I mean, this is where we're at. So I mean, what does this mean? What does this say going forward? You know, what are the effects of all of this? Well, I mean, aside from when the Russo brothers shot Endgame, a lot of people were asking, hey, are the Netflix characters going to show up? Are the Netflix characters going to be in this? Are they going to be referenced? Are they going to be, you know, making cameos? And their excuse was always, no, you know, we can't write them into the story, blah, 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 blah. I think having Jarvis in Endgame shows that you could have put them in there even as a short cameo to the fans if they wanted to. But they did not. And it's because I believe they don't want to acknowledge it. They're going to try to, you know, I don't even know if they're going to acknowledge that it ever happened, didn't happen, whatever the case may be. Now, the thing with Agent Carter, as I was saying, you know, Louis D'Esposito, seeing that he actually directed, you know, some episodes of Agent Carter. Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely wrote a lot of Agent Carter, and that was a character they created with the movies, because they did the Captain America movies, and then they also did Infinity War and Endgame. So you can see the connection here with the creatives and how it all kind of works. The Whedons, you know, were brought in after the Avengers, but Joss Whedon is really no longer associated with Marvel Studios right now. And I think that what happened is, you know, when he was out and left Age of Ultron, that's basically when, you know, everything kind of split apart, and that's when TV and film, you know, he wasn't really working with his brother and sister-in-law and everything on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, you know, who knows? I think that they could have put them in, they definitely could have put them in Endgame if they wanted to, especially like even with the Netflix characters, but I don't think Feige's gonna do that. There's a lot of contracts and things of that nature, as you're seeing with the Netflix characters about the 2-year cooling period and can't use them. I think they're all going to be recast. I think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was smart when they ended their series in the way they did it, by having Sky, aka Quake, you know, going out to space to where she could possibly be working for Fury and Agents of S.W.O.R.D., you know, in space. We'll see how that all shakes out. They got the other characters kind of playing it and still doing their thing without, you know, Coulson's now LMD. So, you know, you could always bring him back if they wanted to. But if they don't, I think what they're going to try to do is explain it away by just saying that, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. took place in an alternate branch timeline of the multiverse, which they're tackling now. And I think that might be the argument for saying that, yes, it is connected technically, but then again, at that point, all of the Marvel shows and series and movies of past are connected, because as you can see, what you're hearing, what's going on now is they're doing this multiverse thing, and that's going to tie it in and legitimize everything, and then going forward, you're just going to have one Marvel. So I think that's going to be the real telltale sign, and that's going to be the hard part of, you know, if they recast characters. Like I heard they're recasting Mockingbird for the Hawkeye series, and it's not going to be Adrian Palicki. So, you know, it's going to forever be an argument of whether or not this show was connected. Was it not connected? My stand is it was connected, and it is no longer connected as of season 3. When Marvel TV and Marvel Studios broke away, at that point the show was no longer connected, and to this day it is not canon. I do not think these characters are going to show up in Agents of S.W.O.R.D. if that's what they do, or if it's Secret Invasion or what have you. I don't think they're going to show up. I think everybody's going to be recast. Unfortunately, I think Charlie Cox Daredevil is going to be recast. You know, all of the Netflix characters, unfortunately, and there was a lot of good characters on that show. I think that, you know, should have carried over. And with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, I really hope that they could all carry over and at least play a minor part in some of the Disney Plus shows. They don't have to be a focal point, but it's just like, you know who they are. They pop up for a cameo here, there, or whatever. It's just let you know that, yes, we're here and they're in the universe. But I don't think Feige's gonna do that. Yeah, that's my proof. That's my argument for, you know, what's going on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the MCU. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about it, and if you think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and it is canon. You can argue that point. You know, I usually say don't at me, but in this case, at me. You know, hit me up in the comments. I want to see what the people think about this. You know, where are we at on this? Is it canon? Is it not canon? We got to find out. In the meantime, I do have the Funko Pop giveaways that I am still doing once I hit 1,000 subscribers. To be entered into that, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon for notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section. I'm giving those away randomly once we hit that point. I do have them in hand now, 5 T'Challa Funko Pops. I'm excited to give those away. So if you want to be entered into that contest, just make sure you do those things. And until next time, signing off, this is Armand for E = MCU. Peace.